Welcome back to DNA on the Go. I know we've been gone for a while, but today we are back with a bang. The Batman just came out on March 4th, and here we go.
That's right, guys. We just saw it this weekend, and it was, I would say, very good movie. I like the movie overall as a movie, a standalone. I'm not going to try to compare it to The Dark Knight like everybody else wants to.
We have to, though.
Yeah, we will in a minute. But as a standalone movie, I enjoyed it. The 3 hours went by fast for me. I know some people were saying it felt too long. It didn't feel long for me. I like this whole story behind it, the whole detective story, the true Batman nature of this movie. And for me, it flowed. I didn't feel like, oh my God, hurry up and end. I felt like this movie flowed from the beginning to the end, and every scene that was there was good, and it contributed to the story.
I don't know if it was because of my bladder or anything, but I felt like this movie was long. I felt it was long, and I don't know if you felt it either, but why was the Batman moving every movement?
He was slow. He was slow. He was slow. I have to admit I did notice that. I remember in the scene where he was coming up the stairs when he was going into mansion to that room that had the chain on because the secrets about his parents.
Yeah.
And he was walking up the stairs so slow. I was like, come on, bro. Get there, man. Get there. But you're right. He walked slow and everything. When he came out of the shadows, he walked slow. When he knocked the penguin down, he walked slow. So yes, they did over dramatize him trying to be mysterious, and yeah, so you're right. There was some of that. Yeah.
So I'll give my thoughts on Robert Pattinson. I liked him as the Batman, and I thought he did well. As Bruce Wayne, I was like, ooh, he's a little childish, but I understand that he's only been Batman for 2 years, and so he's like in his I feel like he would be late 20s, early 30s kind of age, where he's trying to figure things out.
Well, he should be about 30 because his parents died when he was 10, and 20 years later. So
like 30.
Yeah, he's 30.
Yeah, so that makes sense for that, and he was. I believe that this is the scariest Batman that we've been given. The way that the story was told and how they were like, this lurks in the shadows, and everyone, when you see that sign, you just feel like he's there in the shadows. That's so good.
Matt Reeves did a good job creating tension in this movie. I felt every tension from Batman. This Batman for sure was the most brutal Batman I've ever seen before in a movie. Christopher Nolan did a lot of cutaways and shots. There was cutaways here, but you could still feel the intensity of Batman when he was beating the crap out of people. As far as Pattinson, I think he did a good job. I would have liked to see him a little more cut. He was a little underweight, in my opinion, to be Batman.
No, I feel like it was the same as Chris, whatever his name is, Bale, Christian Bale.
Nah, Christian Bale was just a little bigger, but other than that, that's my only thing that I didn't like. Now, as far as him being Bruce Wayne, I think it's perfect because this is year 2, right? So he doesn't know how to use the billionaire playboy motif yet, right? Yeah. He's just learning, trying to figure stuff out. And in this thing, he's vengeance. By the end of it, he becomes, a different thing. So in this one, we see him becoming the Batman that we know, right? So he's learning, right?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it in this context, Ben Affleck is Batman.
But he's old Batman.
Old Batman. He's
killing people.
He's chiseled. He's killing people.
He's done.
He's like, look, I'm done with the not trying to kill
because
people.
I gave you a chance.
I'm killing
You're done.
Right? So the progression of Batman. So I like it.
Yeah. So what did you think of Zoe Kravitz?
She did good, man. She was Zoe Kravitz was awesome in this movie. She's a good actress.
I believed her as Catwoman.
Me too.
I don't know. I wanted more from her. I just feel like she was underused. Like I feel like she was just a plot point for like, oh my. Or I don't know if this is spoilers or not. So
yeah,
is this non-spoiler?
It's Sunday.
It's spoilers.
It's Sunday. You've seen it by now. So there's some spoilers here.
I think that she was just used as a plot point for like, oh, my dad's Falcone, and it's like, well, I want to know more about Catwoman. Like I don't know. Maybe you should have done more exposition about like, oh, how you got here, or
I don't know what it would have fitted in.
But it's just like we had so much time with Batman and so much time with like these. I just feel like the movie 3 hours you could have developed her character a little bit more.
You could have, they could have been a little more developed in her background, but they kind of did it with some exposition by knowing who she was. Like her mom died when she was 7. If you think about it, there was all orphans in this movie.
Yeah.
The bad guys and the good guys, they're all orphans. So it was a story of orphans, and this story really talked about how just the differences in having money and where you live as an orphan made you a better or a worse person. So it talks about opportunities and, so it was a good stuff. It was a lot of good details in this, and they laid it out really well. As far as her as Catwoman, like I said, I believed her. I didn't know if there was room to fit her in because they wanted to introduce the Penguin. They wanted to introduce Falcone. Yeah. They wanted to talk about the Riddler. They had, you had all kinds of stuff.
They had a bunch of things, and I was like, okay, well, I don't know if she was needed in the movie, but I'm glad that she was in it because she is a good actress.
Yeah, she was good in the movie. It's just she was good to have. She was good to have in the movie. It was a good flow for her. But this movie was really about Bruce Wayne just becoming, a progressive Batman over time from the beginning to end. What do you think about having that voiceover? Him being a voiceover talking in Batman. We've never had a voiceover in Batman before.
I know, it was kind of like, it was like weird at first, but then I got used to it, and like his voice. Oh, I didn't even talk about Rob Pattinson's voice. His voice was like okay, like his Batman voice.
He was doing the Batman.
It wasn't Christian Bale. I was looking for Christian Bale.
I'm Batman.
Like it wasn't like Batman-y.
No.
But it's okay.
But here's what I liked about this: how Matt Reeves did this Batman. He made it raw, right? In every Batman we see, there's always these gadgets. Mm-hmm. Right, so the Batmobile was, this tumbler that they created, and all of Batman's costumes were like designed, made by computers.
Yeah.
In this one, when he took his hood off, we actually see that he's using makeup.
Yeah, that was cool.
Right, to darken his eyes to create a more scary mask look. His mask detail was, you could see the stitching. Instead of it being one cohesive thing, it was leather. So for me, it was like raw and down to earth and just realistic. Just because I'm rich doesn't mean I can go and buy all these gadgets.
Things, right? People are gonna be like, you're Batman, right?
Who's this rich to have all these toys?
You're Batman. Let's just talk about it. Like, yeah.
Right? So to me, it was down to earth where anyone could have, not anyone, but someone could have built these type things.
I definitely think he was, I like his suit the best for sure out of all the Batmans that I've seen.
It was a cool suit.
But Jeffrey Wright, what did you think of him as Gordon?
I liked him as Gordon.
He was good.
Yeah, I like the dynamic between him. I like the dynamic better in this one between Gordon and Batman than the one with Christian Bale, because they were more partners in this one. The one with Christian Bale, Gordon was like a clown. He was like, he turned around and Batman was gone. He was like, where'd he go?
Or is he his partner? Yeah. Or friends? Like, what's going on?
In this one, truly Gordon and Batman were partners.
And I loved it. I really loved them working together because Jeffrey Wright or Gordon was like only trusted Batman. Batman only trusted him. It was like a really good dynamic, and they worked together with like catching Penguin. It was just like, it was really cool.
Yeah, you get the sense, and the thing what I liked about this one is Batman wasn't, even though it was a vigilante, he was able to walk into a crime scene.
Yeah.
Right?
And like they were like, I love how the guy who stopped him, I was like, who do you think you are touching Batman?
It was so funny though. The same guy who stopped him later was like, Mr. Wayne!
It's Bruce Wayne! No, don't talk to me! Rue! Don't talk to me! Yeah.
Nah, it was good. It was good dynamic. And there was jokes in this too, but it wasn't like these, it wasn't like Marvel jokes. It was subtle, like thumb drive.
Yeah.
Right? So, and it was good. So I liked it. I was very impressed with it. There's others in this household that did not like it. We won't mention any names. But
I liked it as a detective movie. It was a really great detective movie. I also liked Paul Dano as the Riddler, which I recognize him from the movie Prisoners, which is I think it's the only movie I've ever seen him in. But he did really well. But he's a good villain, but he wasn't great because they introduced he took off the mask too late.
Yeah.
I wish that we had that maybe towards the halfway point so that he could, really talk more and become that character of Riddler. Maybe they introduced a part 2 with the Joker coming in, and maybe in part 2 there'll be more of
the Riddler.
The Riddler, but.
Because I did miss that. I have to admit, I did miss that because one of the things I liked about the Riddler character in general is his intelligence.
Right.
And in this, you really didn't see that. You saw his cunning in this and how he was able to create certain situations. But the Riddler has always been an extremely smart person that Batman had to really try hard to outwit. And we never get to see the persona behind the mask till the very end because Paul Dano is a phenomenal actor. Like he's a class, A-level actor. Because in the 5 minutes of the movie that Paul Dano is in the movie, as himself,
Yeah.
he is terrifying in those 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like in those 5 minutes, you're like, I believe you, right?
Right, yeah.
I believe what
Yeah.
you're saying. So he's a phenomenal actor. But yeah, he didn't get enough screen time in my opinion.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. My favorite, let's talk about favorite scenes. I can't stop talking about this scene. The penguin scene, the chase scene with Batman chasing Penguin trying to catch him.
That was a good scene.
Was a 10 out of 10 scene. I loved it so much.
Man.
It was like brutal, and I can feel the anxiety from Penguin with him like, please move out of the way. He did not care about human life in that moment.
when the Batmobile started.
Dad.
When the Batmobile started, Mom was like just chilling in the chair. You know, Mom like cars. She's like, what's going on? And then the Batmobile went. Mom was like, whoa. Mom was like, whoa, what's going on? She's like, what? She's doing a lean with the car.
We were in Dolby, so the seats were shaking.
Man, when the jet engine kicked off on the Batmobile, you could feel it on your chest because it was Dolby. You gotta see this in Dolby.
Yeah, so that
was a great chase. That was a
really
great chase.
good.
Yeah.
What did you like?
I would say that was probably my favorite scene as well. I did like the fight scenes with him, especially when he came, the clowns. The street clowns.
Yeah.
When he comes out and just wreck shop with the clowns, it was like, you knew this guy's like, look, I'm not gonna kill you, but you gonna remember me.
Yeah.
You gonna remember you and I had an encounter.
Yeah.
So when Gordon put the bat signal up, that's why fools are like, nah. We gotta go because I don't know where he's at. He could be coming out of the shadows.
Anywhere. Another good scene was the funeral scene with the I don't know,
with the kid?
The DA. The funeral scene where like the DA had the bomb around his neck.
Oh, that was a good scene.
Yeah.
That was a good scene.
Because he was like, I would rather die than tell you.
Man, but what was so cool about that scene was, because you know, in typical comic book movies, he would have gotten saved. Right? Because Batman was there. The only time you don't get saved is when the hero's coming and he can't make it. Mm-hmm. But he's standing there, so you're thinking, okay, Batman's gonna pull a wire.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. He just got. So that scene right there, I was like, whoa, Riddler ain't playing, and they did this right.
I did like how the Riddler won, but I think I missed something because the Riddler won, right? Because he flooded the city. But then he was all sad at the end. He was all mad
because he wanted everybody to get shot up. So the whole point was to force people. We'll talk about this in a second, in a minute. But the whole point was to make everybody run to this one building, kind of like the Superdome in 2005 for Katrina. Everybody went to the Superdome. You were 5, so you don't know. Right. Anyway, so everybody went to the Superdome, right? So in this, the tornado place was to go here. Well, the city was funny. The cops made everybody go to this building. That's why all the people was there to shoot. His end goal was to shoot everybody.
That's what it was.
Then kill folks. But Batman, of course, which was a beautiful scene, by the way, when the ceiling completely exploded, and he just comes down. It was a great scene.
Sorry, it's so good.
And the music is good too in this one.
Michael Giacchino, he also does the music for No Way Home, all the Spider-Man movies, and all of Pixar movies that you know. Oh wow! So he's really coming up. I mean, he's already up. No, it
was good. The music was good in there. So when he came in, overall I liked this movie. There were some points that didn't make sense here and there. I could tell you about them, but I won't. But this movie was good overall. Now, on to the comparison to The Dark Knight. Because this is where you want to go.
You have to compare it to The Dark Knight. It's not as good as The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is more action. The story flows a lot better. That movie is also 3 hours.
Dark Knight's at 3 hours.
Yes, it is that. It's around 3. It's around there. Like I guess 2.5. I don't know.
Pull it up right now.
He's about to fact check.
Yeah.
The story flows better. There's action in almost every scene. The Joker. Actually, why am I explaining myself? The Joker. Thanks. That's the whole argument.
So what made The Dark Knight?
The Dark Knight, Joker is in that movie for less than 30 minutes. I think that's his whole screen time is less than 30 minutes, and he takes over every scene that he's in.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer did a better score. Christopher Nolan is a better director. Christian Bale is a believable Batman with the voice. Yes, Batman isn't as brutal as Robert Pattinson's, but yeah, and 2008. It came out in 2008 and it still stands as one of the best superhero movies of all time. Yeah.
What is the runtime on Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight? 2 hours and 32 minutes. Oh, you close.
2 hours and 32 minutes.
You close. About the same.
It's about the same.
So here's my comparison. To Dark Knight. Yes. The reason why The Dark Knight was better than this is because of the Joker.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We explored the Joker. We learned about him. We saw who he was. We got his motivations, which we really never truly knew what his motivations were because you got 2 or 3 different stories why he was doing what he was doing. So you felt like this guy was truly mad.
Yeah.
Chaos. But The Dark Knight was a better Batman movie.
Like superhero kind of thing.
But this movie was a better movie because it was better drawn and directed because it was more in reality than The Dark Knight was. The Dark Knight was better as far as fun and being a comic book movie and because of the villain. If I had to say which one I would watch, if you say you could only pick one to watch, which one would you watch? Of course I would pick The Dark Knight.
Like, I don't know. I would have to like fight or something. I went to The Dark Knight 15 times before I chose this.
Yes, The Dark Knight.
Also, I don't know if it's nostalgia or this thing. I've seen it a million times. Blah 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 blah. But
I need to see this movie again to know what I truly feel because sometimes it takes a couple of showings. Because to be honest with you, the first time I saw The Dark Knight, I wasn't 100% on it. I liked it, but I was like, okay, it's good. I had to watch it like one more time to really like, this movie is really good. Mm-hmm. So it took me 2 showings of The Dark Knight to really love The Dark Knight.
Right.
Because it was so much going on, it was too much to absorb. So I probably need to watch this movie one more time to kind of fully absorb what's happening to say where I feel with this one.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. But
what's your rating?
My rating
as a movie
is an 8 out of 10.
I'm with you. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Yes, that's my rating as a movie. A rating as like a Batman of it is 7.5. I take away 0.5.
Now, as a Batman movie, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 as well. I think it's a good movie overall. I think Matt Reeves did a good job. Robert Pattinson did a good job. Zoe Kravitz. What do you think of Colin Farrell? Did a great job as the Penguin.
You couldn't
even tell he was Colin Farrell. It was so good.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh my gosh.
But that's so great. But I hear that he's getting his own show, which I'm excited about because Peacemaker is a really good show. So we need more like DC character shows. Yeah. And I'm really hoping that Peacemaker gets a season 2.
I was pleasantly surprised at how good Peacemaker was. Pleasantly surprised, actually. So anyway, that's it, guys. Oh, here's Mr. Fowler right here. And you know who this is.
It's cool.
Here it is. You just don't remember.
Oh my god!
The prosthetics. Nah. The prosthetics was.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah. I got school. Nah.
The prosthetics on Colin Farrell's face. If you did not know it was Colin Farrell, you would have never guessed it was Colin.
Yeah, I would have never guessed. And also, John Turturro was in it. I was like, oh, should I watch Transformers again?
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, let me watch Transformers because like he was in it. And then Andy Serkis was obviously great. He's always great and everything.
He was good.
But yeah, that's it. That's our ratings. Let us know down in the comments what you thought of the movie, and make sure to subscribe and let us know what other movies we should react to. We're trying to get DNA back on track. I'm graduating very soon, so that's my primary focus right now.
That's right. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.